Now, as you guys, you're meeting Eazy, you're meeting everybody. Was NWA already taken off at
Yeah,
the time?
when I met them, they were taking off.
They were on tour.
They were taking off. It started getting really gas. I think only thing was really popping was We Want Easy was really huge. It started becoming Straight Outta Compton hadn't really got its legs yet, but by the time we all started really making a real relationship with them, it took off.
You mentioned you went on tour with them.
Yeah.
What was that like? Do you guys have any wild stories from being on tour with them?
I can tell you this. I won't say it's a wild story. You know the story. I have a couple of them I can't talk about. They're in the book, but one is I remember what was we? I don't know what city we was in, and the dude was going on everybody's door. That's a true thing that happened. And dude is knocking on everybody's door, and where's my wife? Where's my wife? So we come in the room. It's like, hey man, dude out there looking for his wife, and they was like, hey, Eazy in the bathroom with his wife right now. Tell that motherfucker to get lost. So we went down, got security, which at the time I think Suge was on our security team, and they escorted. I don't know what they did to her, but maybe they buried her something. I don't know, but yeah, they got her off the floor, and got him off the floor, and then they threw her out when Eazy finished having his way with her. Oh, so yeah, that's a real story. That was probably every night on tour where somebody was looking for their wife. That's a real story. There's some other stuff that's in the book that we'll get to, but no, yeah, some crazy. That's let me tell you, Eazy E and NWA. I had never known a groupie like an NWA groupie. I've never seen it. My whole history of of being in this, and it's 30-something plus. But when NWA hit hard, you talking about the groupies, they had them.
Yeah. There was like the Beatles.
Yeah, they like
basically.
The Beatles, yeah. I remember NWA going from being booed to being like the Beatles. That's how long we were around. When they was almost getting like what we were doing. If you look back in '88, gangster rap hadn't hit. Like now you can say it's like, oh yeah, it's like common. But back then it was scarce. It wasn't. I mean, actually, it was not. It was the only people who were making hardcore records like that was Ice-T, and Ice-T probably was the only one. East Coast, you had Schoolie D. You had people like that. And the first BDP album, Criminal Mind, you had Just Ice. You know what I mean? But you didn't have it as a mainstream thing. When they hit hard with that mainstream reality rap, is what it was called. That was a freight train, dog, tearing up everything. And when I tell you the parties was way off the hook, and I tell you the tours was way off the hook, yes, everything you could name of was going on. But it's funny because it wasn't a lot of drugs going around. Not none of that. A lot of drinking. Everybody
weed smoking,
but not it. I mean, it's and I think as a young, because none of us was over. Eric was 26.
Yeah.
I think the youngest was around maybe like Coca and Cube before Cube had left. They were Cube. I don't think. Well, we were barely in our 20. We were like 19, 20, 21, on a powerhouse label. But
young.
The oldest person around you is like 26 years old. That's like your OG. The youngest is probably like 19. So you can imagine how wild it was.
Yeah, no real adult, older dude trying to come.
None of that.
Yeah, it was crazy, man.
Nah, it was crazy, man. It was crazy.
Was Ruthless your first record deal?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine.
Both you guys too?
Yeah. We were originally, we was trying to audition for our uncle.
Yeah, for Motown.
But, Uncle Willie Hutch, rest in peace. God rest his soul. He didn't understand, the language we were speaking because, he come from an era where, when you heard songs like from the Mac, Brothers Gonna Work It Out. And, when you come in and hearing Code 187 talk that
murder rap,
shit and all that,
murder rap
and who's gonna call itself? Nah, he wasn't digging that.
Yeah.
How'd you guys get the name Above the Law?
Well, we got the name me, DJ Chaos, and KMG. We was hustling in the streets. We wanted it to symbolize being like against the establishment, but more so we wanted to actually solidify being different in music. So we wanted to be above the regular, above the average, above the, because we was throwing names around like that, but we was in the streets, so we just call it Above the Law. You know what I mean? And that's how we came up with it. We wanted to make our own path, like we're above what everybody else does. So we came up with that, with Above the Law. And I mean, a lot of it had to do with how we wanted to make hardcore music and reality rap at the time, because it hadn't been labeled as gangster rap yet, So we figured, okay, what could solidify a reality rap group than saying straight up, we above the law? And at first, they didn't want to call us Above the Law straight out. That's why a lot of the early records say ATL, ATL, because back then, the FCC and all that stuff, they didn't want to say a lot of anti-establishment phrases and stuff like that. They didn't want to do it. And then Eazy was like, just say it's above the law. We're just going to put it as above the law. I don't care, So a lot of the records that we was doing, we was kind of coding the name. We wouldn't say Above the Law. We like, ATL is the mega. ATL is this thing, like ATL. But when we put it out, Eric would just say, we're just going to say it's above the law. And leave it at that. Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. How did Above the Law come together? How did you guys all meet, growing up? Or did you guys grow up with each other and everything?
Yeah, we all grew up together in Pomona. And then we added, the story is, we all hustle together. But me, Cam G, and DJ Cass, we went to middle school and high school together. We didn't form the group until we were like, late teenagers, and then we met Go Mac, and we met Laylaw, then we brought Kokane into the fold. And that's when it formed, probably in '88. The actual group performed, but we were always friends. Me and him are cousins, so we grew up in the same house, dang near. But yeah, we all grew up together, went to middle school and high school together.
Okay, so in the NWA movie, there was a scene where Ice Cube gets into it with guys from Ruthless.
Right.
And I guess it was at a music seminar. And so I believe that was, you were involved
That's
in
above
all
the
that?
law. That's above the law. It's
Were both of you guys there?
No, I was at the pad working on my stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was on his record. This is when Living Like Hustlers first dropped. Me and Cube had some issues. He disrespect Pomona. Me and him got into a head-up scrap. Spilled over to the new music seminar.
So you guys got in a fight first?
Yeah, we had a fight first.
At the Celebrity.
At Celebrity Theater. Yeah, me and him had a fight because we had an interview with LA Times. LA Times asked us, what's the sound, what signatures y'all music and everything. I want to say Gomac said, oh yeah, we talk about, because we wrote Living Like Hustlers in the Dope House. So like we talk about like, what we really was involved with, or our colleagues that was hustling with us, is a reflection of their life or whatever. We not like Ice Cube that went away to college and come back and act like this big time gangster in NWA, which at the time that's what he was. He was a dude that was really sharp with the pen, was kind of a schoolboy, never hustled the street, never banged in the streets, but he could depict what the gang culture was like in records. That's what we told LA Times. LA Times wanted to reply to that. On the interview, he said New Jack niggas from Pomona should only talk about the freeway because that's the only thing that's going through that motherfucker. I said, okay. Eazy E called me. He said, hey man, did you get the LA Times? I said, no, man, you gotta see it. He laughing on the phone. He's a big joke, so he laughing, ah! So I get it, I read the statement. I call E back and said, I'm gonna fuck your boy up. As soon as I see, oh, cuz, don't be tripping. I said, man, fuck that. Real, homie. He said, I said, if I see him tonight, I'm gonna fuck him up. So he come to the show. It's us, Low Profile, and Gang Stars. The first show we ever had. It's a K-Day show. They used to throw these K-Day shows, high schools and colleges, Friday night jam or whatever it's called, I forget what it's called. But it's our first concert. So he's, him and Dub grew up together. But Dub's godbrother, Dub and Tunes, rest in peace, their godbrother is a good friend of mine. So I already had knew them. So I go and say, hey man, I got a problem with your boy. You want to talk that shit. Is he coming? He's like, yeah, he probably gonna come through. I said, okay, I need to holler at him, So he come, made a meet up in the hallway, said, what's up with that bitch ass shit you said in the newspaper? You trying to play me like a buster or something, homie? Like, oh, you a bitch ass nigga too. Like I said, what's happening? You want to get down? Oh yeah, what's up? So he acting tough. So my security Ruthless security rushed me and say, go in the room, Hutch, you acting crazy. We don't want no problems here. They take him to Dove room. So, mind you, as I told you earlier, Cube was our partner. It's like, how dare you say some bullshit like that when you know how we cut? You know what I mean? So he come back into my dressing room and say, what's up? As soon as he say, what's up? I give him to him a 2-piece hot wind. Boom, he fall through the door. Chaos grab him and throw him, sling him, and then all the security rush. So by the time speeding you up to New York, the rumor gets back, Brother Law jumped Cube. It really was me and him fighting. Wasn't nobody jump, didn't nobody jump nobody, right?
Mm-hmm. So Cube didn't back down either.
No, he didn't.
He didn't back
down. He got socked out, but he didn't back down. He got socked out, but he didn't back down. and when we get to New York, so all the stuff going around the seminar is like, oh yeah, the lynch mob here, and they got issues, whatever, right? So we get to New York, we're like, okay, whatever. So we see each other going to a panel, right? And we face off right in the middle of the seminar, and we get down, and all hell broke loose. Q was nowhere around. We tore that whole floor up, and was never invited back to the new music seminar, never invited to a show or nothing, because they put it all on us. And in reality, because after the fact, we all became cool. Me, JD, Shorty, welcome home, JD, rest in peace, Shorty. We all became cool because we was all tripping off something that was a head up fight. You know what I mean? Like, if they'd have just hollered at us like, man, what went down? We heard y'all jumped him, whatever. Like, nah, it was a head up fight. And if you want to get a head up again, we can get that. You know what I mean? Like, that's how we was. They thought he got jumped, so they was like, we here to defend the homie honor like that. Y'all want to jump him, we can go head up. All of us can just brawl it out right here. That's what they thought. We never was able to explain to them till Greg Mack got us all on the phone like a panel and was like, y'all need to be cool. Y'all didn't have nothing to do with collectively all y'all beefing at each other about something that was an indifference between Hutch and Ice Cube.
Right.
And they already squashed it. So that's how that ended up getting squashed, and everything. And that's what that was. That's what that scene was about. The reason why it's so profound and straight out of Compton, because in all of the tabloids back then, they said we were NWA's henchmen. And it was some personal stuff between me and Cube, basically,
Okay, I seen you guys ended up squashing it.
Absolutely. Me and Cube squashed it first. We actually squashed it that night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we squashed it that night. But when all the stuff started rolling out, it was like, oh, they jumped the homie, and they, it was like that kind of thing.